In the late 1960s and early 1970s, the San Francisco Bay Area was gripped by a reign of terror that would baffle investigators, terrify residents, and leave an indelible mark on the annals of true crime. The Zodiac Killer, a shadowy figure with a penchant for cryptic ciphers and chilling threats, emerged as one of the most enigmatic and elusive serial killers in history. With a string of unsolved murders, taunting letters sent to newspapers, and a symbol that struck fear into the hearts of many, the Zodiac Killer cast a long and chilling shadow over Northern California. Decades have passed since the last confirmed letter from the killer, but the mystery endures, and the question remains: who was the Zodiac? On the night of December 20th, 1968, 17-year-old David Faraday and 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen were on their first date at Lake Herman Road, a secluded lover's lane located near Benicia, California. What should have been a peaceful and romantic evening soon took a terrifying turn as an unknown assailant approached them from under the cover of darkness. The perpetrator shot at the unsuspecting couple multiple times. Faraday was struck in the head, and Jensen suffered gunshot wounds to her back. Their lifeless bodies were discovered later that night by a passing driver, and the brutal and senseless murders sent shockwaves through the community. Several months later, on July 4, 1969, 22-year-old Darlene Ferrin and 19-year-old Michael Mageau were planning to celebrate Independence Day at Blue Rock Springs Park, about 4 miles from the Lake Herman Road murder site. The pair had yet to exit Ferrin's car when a second vehicle entered the parking lot and stopped behind them. The driver approached the passenger side of Ferrin's car with a torch and, without warning, opened fire on the young couple, fatally wounding Ferrin. Mageau survived the attack with several injuries. In the wake of this chilling attack, his harrowing account painted a haunting portrait of the assailant. A figure shrouded in a dark, hooded outfit with a shock of light brown hair, aged in his late 20s. His presence exuded a frightening intensity, standing approximately 5 feet 8 inches and weighing around 200 pounds. Just a few weeks later, on August 1, 1969, the San Francisco Chronicle, San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald found themselves inextricably bound by a macabre thread, each receiving nearly identical handwritten letters, brazenly claiming responsibility for the bloodshed at Lake Herman Road and Blue Rock Springs Park. The letters included details about the crimes undisclosed to the public, an eerie testament to their authenticity. The letters were signed with a symbol resembling a crosshair target, a stark reminder of lives snuffed out with malicious precision. Each of the letters contained one piece of a cipher, a cryptic puzzle which would go on to tantalize authorities and armchair sleuths alike. Claiming that his true identity was buried within its encrypted confines, the author threatened that, should the newspapers fail to publish the ciphers, he would cruise around all weekend killing lone people in the night. Alongside their piece of the cipher, the Chronicle published an article featuring a quote from Vallejo Police Chief Jackie Stiltz. In his statement, Stiltz conveyed the police force's skepticism regarding the letter's direct association with the true perpetrator and urged the author to provide additional proof of his identity. Subsequently, on August 4th, the Examiner received a letter divulging further specifics of the crimes withheld from public knowledge. Within this very letter, the enigmatic figure christened himself for the first time as the Zodiac, a term that would become indelibly associated with the unfolding mystery. In just a few days, Donald and Betty Harden of Salinas, California, managed to decipher the Zodiac's intricate puzzle. The solution revealed a chilling message. I like killing people because it's so much fun. It's more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all. To kill something gives me the most thrilling experience. It's even better than getting your rocks off with a girl. The best part of it is that when I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all that I have killed will become my slaves. I will not give you my name because you will try to slow down or stop my collection of slaves for my afterlife. The following month, on September 27, 1969, Pacific Union College students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were enjoying a picnic at Lake Berryessa in Napa County. Their tranquil day took a chilling turn when a hooded white man around 5 feet 11 inches tall approached them. He wore a black executioner-style hood with sunglasses and a crosshair symbol on his chest. Armed and claiming to be an escaped convict, he forced the couple to tie each other up before brutally stabbing them. The assailant left a written message on Hartnell's car, including his signature crosshair symbol and the dates of the previous attacks. Later that night, the perpetrator contacted the Napa County Sheriff's Department from a payphone 27 miles from the crime site. The caller reported a double murder for which he claimed responsibility. Detectives managed to retrieve a damp palm print from the telephone, which was regrettably never linked to any potential suspect. Despite the victim's screams, help arrived too late for Shepard, who died from her injuries 2 days later. Brian Hartnell survived to recount the harrowing ordeal to police and the press.
The only thing to me, this came out since then, but he told me at that time that he had killed a guard getting out of a prison. And so I did take him as a killer. To me, a killer isn't a normal person, so I assumed at the time that something was wrong. But as far as a psychopath or any other aberration, I really didn't realize at the moment. I wasn't concerned because I was cooperating with him and I expected that he would cooperate with me.
Just 2 weeks later, on October 11, 1969, a male passenger hailed Paul Stine's cab at the crossroads of Mason and Geary Streets in San Francisco. With a destination set for Washington and Maple Streets in Presidio Heights, the journey began. For some reason, the driver took a detour 1 block past the requested destination and halted at Cherry Street. In an abrupt turn of events, the passenger wielded a 9mm handgun, firing a single fatal shot into Stine's head. The assailant grabbed the cab driver's keys and wallet and tore off a grim keepsake, a fragment of Stine's shirt now stained with blood. 3 teenagers witnessed the crime from across the street and swiftly alerted the police. They also witnessed the assailant meticulously wipe down the cab before calmly leaving the scene in the direction of the Presidio Park. Patrol officers responding to the call encountered a white male pedestrian mere blocks from the crime scene, advancing along Jackson Street. The officers didn't stop or question the man, as the police radio had mistakenly alerted them to look out for a black suspect. The officers described the pedestrian as 35 to 45 years old, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, with a crew cut framing his face. Slight disparities emerged when compared to the teenager's earlier report, which described an individual aged 25 to 30 sporting a crew cut and standing between 5 feet 8 inches to 5 feet 9 inches tall. A few days later, the Zodiac sent another letter to the Chronicle, enclosing a piece of Paul Stine's shirt tail as evidence of his identity. The letter, containing a chilling threat about targeting school children on a bus, suggesting a method involving shooting out the front tire and attacking the children as they disembarked. A week later, a man claiming to be the Zodiac called the Oakland Police Department and demanded the appearance of either F. Lee Bailey or Melvin Belly, prominent lawyers of the time, on a popular morning talk show. Belly eventually appeared on the show, engaging in a conversation with a caller claiming to be the Zodiac, who adopted the pseudonym Sam. The caller expressed fear of revealing his true identity due to a fear of capital punishment, specifically the gas chamber.
Yes. Sam, let me ask you this. There's some reason why you go to a particular doctor or a particular priest, and some reason why apparently you wanted to talk to me or Lee. Is it that you feel that we have compassion for people who get in trouble? Or is it you feel that we can do something for you? Or is it you feel that we have enough integrity that if we promise you something, that we're going to stick to it?
Well, let's find out why he wanted to talk to. Why did you want to talk to Mr. Belli, Sam?
I don't want to be hurt.
A meeting was arranged, but the caller never showed up, and the call was traced back to a patient in a mental institution, leading investigators to conclude he was not the actual Zodiac. On November 8, 1969, the Zodiac sent another encrypted letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, containing a cipher that would later become known as the Z340 cipher, as it consisted of 340 characters. This cipher would become infamous in its complexity, as it remained unsolved for over 51 years. A group of private individuals from around the world, comprising American software engineer David Aranchek, Australian mathematician Sam Blake, and Belgian programmer Jarl van Eyck, successfully decoded the message on December 5, 2020. The message read as follows: "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show," which brings up a point about me. "I'm not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner. Because I now have enough slaves to work for me where everyone else has nothing when they reach paradise, so they are afraid of death. I am not afraid because I know that my new life will be an easy one in paradise, thus death." Despite the elusive cipher seeming to be the missing piece of the puzzle for over 5 decades, the FBI unfortunately concluded that this message gave no further clues to the Zodiac's identity. Throughout the following years, the Zodiac continued to taunt authorities with cryptic correspondence. On April 20, 1970, he wrote, "My name is," followed by a 13-character code which remains unsolved to this day. On October 27, 1970, Paul Avery, the Chronicle reporter who had been covering the case, received a Halloween card signed with a Z and the Zodiac's distinctive crosshair symbol. The card contained a handwritten message reading, "Peekaboo, you are doomed." Shortly after this incident, Avery received a letter drawing his attention to the similarities between the Zodiac's actions and the unsolved murder of Cherry Joe Bates, which had taken place 4 years prior at Riverside City College in the greater Los Angeles area, over 400 miles south of San Francisco. The last confirmed letter from the Zodiac was postmarked January 29, 1974, in which he praised The Exorcist as the best satirical comedy he had ever seen. He concluded the letter with a scorecard seemingly boasting of 37 murders. Me 37, SFPD 0. Despite numerous investigations and a slew of suspects, the killer's true identity has never been confirmed. Over the years, several suspects have emerged, drawing attention from both law enforcement and amateur investigators. The most notable person of interest and the only suspect to be served with search warrants by police was Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester who had a history of violence and peculiar behavior. Allen had been dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Navy and fired from his position as an elementary school teacher due to allegations of sexual misconduct with students. His friend Donald Cheney told police that Allen had spoken prior to 1969 of his desire to kill people and referred to using the name Zodiac. After looking at a photo lineup, Michael Mageau, the surviving victim of the Blue Rock Springs Park attack, confidently identified Allen as the man who had shot him. However, police officer Donald Fook claimed that Allen weighed around 100 pounds more than the man he had seen leaving the scene of Paul Stein's murder. Despite intense scrutiny, no conclusive evidence linked Allen to the crimes, and he died in 1992. In 2002, a partial DNA profile was developed from the saliva on the stamps and envelopes used in the Zodiac's correspondence. This partial profile was not a match with Arthur Lee Allen's DNA. A team known as the Case Breakers, who claimed to be made up of former law enforcement investigators, military personnel, and forensic experts, have recently claimed to have found forensic evidence linking Gary Francis Post with the murders. Post had been previously jailed for domestic abuse in 2016 and died in 2018. Authorities have been skeptical of the team's claims and have stated that there is no new information to report. Richard Gaikowski, a journalist and filmmaker who died in 2004, has also been linked with the Zodiac case. Gaikowski had connections to the counterculture scene in San Francisco and an interest in cryptography. Some have pointed to similarities between his handwriting and that of the Zodiac's letters, and his resemblance to the composite sketch. No concrete evidence linking him to the murders has ever been found. Notorious figures such as convicted serial killer Ted Bundy, Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, and all the members of the Manson family have all been eliminated as Zodiac suspects. Other theories include the possibility of multiple perpetrators, or even a group of killers operating under the same moniker. Some have speculated that the Zodiac may have been a former military codebreaker, given the complexity of his ciphers. The Zodiac's heinous crimes, taunting letters, and encrypted ciphers have continued to captivate the public's imagination, spawning books, documentaries, and a Hollywood feature film. Despite the passage of time, the shadow of the elusive killer still looms large over the San Francisco Bay Area, a reminder that some mysteries may never be fully unraveled. The case remains open, and as technology advances, there is hope that modern forensic techniques and artificial intelligence may one day crack the Zodiac's remaining cryptic codes and finally reveal his identity.